The last serious relationship I had was when I was almost 40. The fear of being alone at that age was overwhelming. So I settled for being a side chick. Hello, it's another Sunday, and you're welcome to Life Stories with Busi. Of course, another Sunday morning that I'm trying to do this because I'm also trying to go to church. But let me apologize in advance. My voice might be a little croaky today. Um, Last week I treated malaria, and after that I came down with flu. So everything, all the works. Qatar, cold, running nose, everything, all the works. I might sniffle a bit, I might sneeze. That's one I can try to edit. Hopefully I get to edit it. My voice might be a bit croaky, but generally I'm fine. I didn't want to leave you hanging, so I was like, okay, while I'm trying to get ready for church, let me do this. I hope I make it to church because I really do not want to go and start sneezing and coughing in church. But whatever happens, whether I make it to church or not, I'll let you know next week Sunday. So today I have another story, and one of the reasons why I was particular about doing this was because this story is an offshoot of last week's story. Last week's story was the story of Mrs. Teal, the lady who said that she married a man that was 22 years older than her. I think 22 years or 21 years older than her. So if you have not seen that, the link is up there. The story was just saying that sometimes people will marry despite age differences, that it's not because of anything, it's because of pure love. Yeah, that's what she was saying. So today I'll just go straight into this lady's story. Today's story is saying that Mrs. Teal's story was a rare occurrence. Okay, so we just go straight in the story. You can call me Alera. I saw the video that you did last week. It resonated with me deeply. The story was beautiful, and sadly, the stereotypes you touched on are often true. So, in her own case, she's saying that the stereotypes are often true because she had a bad experience. Though we don't have figures to check on these things, but she is trying to say that these things are rare, that the love story of Mrs. Teal is quite rare, and that this situation with younger spouses being there for monetary benefit is on the rise, or it's more, but we don't have research numbers or figures to check that out. She's just saying based off on her own story. So let's just continue her story. So she goes, I'm 48 years old, successful in my business, but love has been a painful journey. I've been hurt so many times that I built walls around my heart, not letting just anyone in. Part of my voice is going to be a bit croaky, like I said. I can hear myself, so I know that this is not my voice, but pardon me today. I had my twins at 19, and the man responsible denied them. I searched for love in the arms of many men, but they left me worse than they found me. Many didn't want me with 2 children. Some suggested that I give up my children, abandon them, or send them to my mother in the village. Out of desperation, I did send them to my mother at a point, but when she passed, I had to bring them back. The last serious relationship I had was when I was almost 40. The fear of being alone at that age was overwhelming. So I settled for being a side chick. Please don't judge me. I know it shapes opinions, but I was vulnerable. The man claimed to be divorced, and I believed him until I discovered months later that it wasn't true. By then, I was deeply in love, but it turned out to be narcissistic. Leaving him was hard, but I had to do it for my sanity. My children made me promise not to get involved in another relationship. My son, in particular, was adamant, saying I was suffering from unresolved childhood trauma and I needed to focus on loving myself first. So, for their sake and my own peace of mind, I stayed away from love. Men showed interest, but I kept my heart locked away until Donald came along. I'd known Donald since I moved to Lagos. He was a teenager then. 9 years younger than me, living with his uncle in the same compound where I stayed. We met again at a function 2 years ago. He recognized me, jogged my memory, and I remembered him. He told me he had just moved back from Europe, where he had been married to a white woman. They had a child but were now divorced. He said he came back to Nigeria to start afresh. It was good to reconnect with someone from the past and we exchanged contacts, but I didn't think much of it. He started calling, giving me compliments, and gradually became protective of me. The first time my son met him during a Christmas holiday, he said, "Mommy, I hope this isn't what I am thinking." I told him to calm down because I wasn't even considering anything like that. But Donald was smart. He had the right words. He knew how to make a woman feel special and was always there when I needed him. I started seeing him differently. When he confessed his feelings for me, I admitted that I felt the same way about him but shared my fears with him. He reassured me, saying that we could take things slow and keep it low key. We started dating discreetly. It was easy since my children were abroad. My son was already working and my daughter was finishing her master's program. But trouble began when my daughter returned home for her NYSC. I didn't want her to know about Donald and me. Donald and my daughter got along well, chatting and laughing together. I didn't think much of it. I was convinced that I was the apple of Donald's eyes. I was blind to the growing tension between them. Last Christmas, my son came home and was helping me with an app on my phone when a love message from Donald popped up on my phone. The look he gave me made me want the ground to swallow me. My son told me that I didn't realize that Donald was after my money and that I was just his next meal ticket. Donald had borrowed money from me several times, but always paid it back. He paid for our dates, so I didn't think money was an issue. My son laughed when I told him that, saying Donald was trying to win my confidence and would eventually ask for a large sum before disappearing. I insisted Donald was different, but my son was furious and watched him closely. Before my son left in January, he asked if I knew that Donald was sleeping with my daughter. I was stunned. That couldn't be true. I demanded proof, but he had none. He said it was just a gut feeling. I scolded him, accusing him of being selfish and not wanting me to be happy. He stormed out, calling me names, my son of all people. I called Donald to report my son's accusations. Donald tried to calm me down, saying that it was natural for my son to be protective and assured me that my daughter was like a daughter to him. I believed him. But I noticed that whenever Donald visited and my daughter was around, she would excuse herself and go to her room, avoiding any banter with him. I assumed that my son had told her about our relationship and she didn't want to be in the middle of it. Then on Valentine's Day, I saw my daughter's WhatsApp status with pictures of gifts from a secret admirer. I asked her who sent it, but she brushed it aside, saying that she was just cruising. I was concerned about her love life because, like any mother, I should be concerned because she wasn't getting any younger. I grew curious about her love life, but she said she would tell me about the guy when she was sure about the guy. In March, Donald asked me to loan him a huge sum of money. I was about to give him, but my son's words kept ringing in my head. Something told me that it might be right and I should check it. I confronted my daughter, asking if she was involved with Donald. She initially played dumb and got upset, but I finally told her that Donald was my boyfriend. My daughter was shocked. Apparently, her brother had never told her about my relationship with Donald. My son and daughter often disagreed on things and they maintained their distance. When he was around in December, she was usually out with her friends for dirty December activities. She confessed that she was in a relationship with Donald and that he had asked her not to tell me because I might not be happy because it was an older man as compared to her, and because I saw him, that is Donald, as a brother who should protect my daughter rather than being in a relationship with her. So he told her that they should keep the relationship low key until they summon up the courage to come tell me. My daughter says she never suspected that Donald had anything to do with me. I couldn't even cry. My foolishness had put my daughter in a terrible position. I confronted Donald and he did a complete 360, denying any relationship with my daughter. He even accused my daughter of making advances at him, saying that he was trying to push her away without raising suspicion. He showed me messages from her, but of course he had deleted his own responses. Donald then claimed that my children didn't want me to experience love and had conspired against him. You won't believe I almost fell for his lies. But after he left, I investigated him and discovered his MO. He preyed on vulnerable, mature single women, draining them of their hard-earned money. It still baffles me how smooth it was. So yes, we believe the stereotypes because they happen more often than we'd like to admit. I'm still healing and so is my daughter. She was traumatized by the realization that we're both involved with the same man. Wow, I have so much to say, but for obvious reason, I can't say much. But I don't understand. I can't comprehend. Why do people why do they do these things? Why are people so evil? What is the flex? What is the joy? Like, what were you open to get? How was that supposed to massage your ego? Or what is the flex? Or what do you want to do? Tell people that you slept with a mother and a child? What is this supposed to do for you? Like, how? Why are people so evil? How do they sleep at night? Like, what were you open to achieve? Scam them? Sleep with mother and daughter? What is that supposed to add to you? What is the flex in that? How is that supposed to be something of joy or something that should give you a bragging right or what? I don't get it. Why are people evil? How do you sleep at night? Like, what are you thinking about? What is in your head? Like, you wanted to have a relationship. Like, you didn't want to be exclusive with this woman and you wanted a relationship. Look for another woman outside. Why our daughter? Why our daughter? That was so evil. I don't get it. Is it that you people are not afraid of the repercussion of the things that you do? How would you sow such evil? This is evil. I have to go right now because I'm losing my voice. Thank you so much, Alero, for writing in. I pray for you and your daughter that you will heal and that the Lord will help you. Do not close your heart to love. Love can still happen for you, so do not say never. Guys, what do you think about this story? I'll be in the comment section. So next time when I come your way again, hopefully I would have regained my voice then. My name remains Busola Jolly David. Bye.